Now, this success journey is very interesting. Pradeep is someone who goes to detail and he understands things in the better nuances. He understands, is this thing really an important or not for me? Shall I do it? And shall I do it with that person? This shows somebody who is a really program manager. He did PgMP on 2nd of April yesterday. He joined our program on 19th of January. So in almost 50 days, we have him certified in the first attempt with overall above target. He's from States, and probably if you visit New Jersey, we can have a cup of tea or coffee, right? In 73 days, he cleared it. And I'm really happy the way you did it, how you done it. But before moving into depth, why don't you share your journey in your own way?
First of all, Amir and Sami, I really very thankful for you, and you both are the gems of PMI ADP community, because you guys communicate, so much contributed to the PMI world, and it's a very amazing thing to work with you, and especially Sami. He did a very hard work on putting all the content, and all the delivery of the lectures were on time, and I was very pleased with the way he delivered everything, and I felt like it's a personal effort and he's trying to give his best.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So let's talk about the entire journey. What did we do in the entire steps? Can you walk it through the all the steps, please?
So when we started initially, application was not an issue at all,
Mhm,
because I did a lot of work in the writing and contractual review area, so it
mm,
was not a problem. And
mm,
we went step by step, every chapter wise. We looked at the questions, and answered all the application part,
mhm,
and
mhm,
that went very smooth. So within 3 weeks we were ready with the application.
mhm,
Only time which took more time is the panel review, and I got audited. So audit also we replied, and the panel review was stuck like 4 weeks. So that was the only glitch.
Okay. So the panel review is something that is not in the control of anybody, right? The panel
Yes.
review is in the control. Not even this is a very interesting thing. The panel review is not even in the control of PMI, right? When the PMI send it to the site, to the program managers, when they send it to the program manager sometime can do it quickly, and sometime they can take it time. So yeah, that is an interesting thing to look into that. Okay, let's talk about the exam. How was the exam?
Exam is like broad scenario based. It covers the whole fifth edition, which was the additional step. We had to adjust the syllabus based on the 2 week notice. Sami took a great step, proactive step, and updated all the material and delivered whatever updated information to us, and that made gave me confident to give this exam on time. My target was to finish before first quarter, so I was close. I mean, not exactly end of March, but I was close. But he delivered everything very nicely, and eco was updated. What eco updated, list we have discussed a lot. I enjoyed the whole journey as such. And more than that, I wanted to learn the basic concepts of all program management. And that we discussed very in depth. And that gave me a very good confidence to clear the exam.
Hmm. Okay. So just to understand what we discussed here, the exam which was changed or updated on 11th, it reflected in the exam, right? It
Yes.
reflected in the exam. The exam has been updated, and now from the exam is according to the fifth standard and not according to the fourth standard, right?
Yes. There
Okay.
were few specific questions related to the additional topics which were presented. So there was an additional domain they added as a collaboration. So those specific area questions were also, I have seen in
Mm,
my exam, which was really great because PMI is also trying to improve their screening process and exam process.
mm. Okay, okay. That's a very interesting thing to look into that. Okay, let's talk about how did you manage your exam time?
So there were 170 questions, 4 hours, like everybody, and my goal was to finish most of the question initially because I was fresh. So I took about 105 questions in 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the part, almost more than half, was done before 2 hours, and rest of them I finished in 1.5 hour. So I had half hour for the review of all the left questions. So I managed where time should not be a constraint for any candidate. There is enough time, and I took in between 10 minutes break, which helped me to refresh myself.
Mm. Okay. Okay, that's okay. Now let's talk about the difficulty of the exam question. You did a lot of question, green background, and on simulator. If we compare the difficulty level of the exam questions with the mocks, how would you rate it?
I would say, mock was certainly helpful,
Mm,
but you cannot just take that as a literal answer.
mm,
The scenario will be different, the options will be different, and you need to judge based on the situation and make a right choice. And in my case, there were two questions, always two answers were so close
mhm,
that around 30 35 questions, like so close, I felt, it's very hard to pick one and you have to make a choice. And which I feel, it's a good thing because they're trying to see exactly the concept, whether do you know clear concept or not.
mhm, mhm. Okay, okay, that's an important thing. Okay, let's talk about a very important thing. How, like the entire journey. First, as we were discussing, you, me, and Mr. Abdurrahim. First, you go through that, help you in filling the application. Then the application goes there, goes the content, then the coaching call, and then the mocks. How important the entire journey is, not only for the certification, but also for the learning.
I would say just a good, well thought process,
Mm-hmm.
and if you follow that process, you will be successful. That's what uh, my whole conclusion out of this. So it's a well thought process, and you just follow those steps, and
Mm-hmm.
you will clear the exam.
You will clear the exam. Okay. How important the ECO document that Mr. Abdurrahim has made and the last day document that he has made, how important those documents are?
Yeah, those are very helpful. I mean, you need to manage your time as well as the exam content outline is the core of essence of the whole fifth edition book. So
Mm,
what essentially PMI did is they combined all the chapter essence into those ECOs,
mhm,
because that's the crux of the whole syllabus, which is there on the PMI fifth edition. So I would say the exam content I outline is the best resource where you will get most of the answers, or the scenarios are created around those key concepts.
mm, mm. Okay. The key, Mr. Sami, if you can take it from there.
Yes, I would like to first say that the coaching calls that we did, as was initiated by Mr. Pradeep, to discuss the mock questions only internally with our making the premium coaching calls, because first we were having only the generalized discussions, and then in mid of February, Mr. Pradeep, took the initiative. Then we agreed and we started to discuss in 1 hour around 5 to 6 questions in detail and in depth, and we discussed all the scenarios that was lot of students were making it wrong. We discussed it. So, Mr. Puri, how helpful was that discussion in the real exam? Because, like you said, that the scenario are different. So, if you remember the discussions that we had, does it really help in the exam?
Discussion helps because there are multiple aspirants or candidates are discussing, and they bring in different perspective to the discussion, and it gives oh, this might be in certain areas different way to think of it. So if somebody working in certain field industry, their compliance would be different than what other industry does, or there are certain industry they don't have compliance, so they think that going to government agency compliance would be waste, but it's not. It's they are the major stakeholders. So we had a lot of good discussion on those mock question, which helped us to think beyond the question.
Hmm. And that discussion surely helped when the different scenario comes in the exam to go to think in the right direction.
Yes, it will give you a broader perspective of the whole concept, and it will make you think in a different direction. And if you look at the real world problems we face into program management, we have different solution for different problems. So that certainly helped everyone. That's what I feel. And those discussions were really great, and it challenged each and everyone you know
Hmm. Right. So, as as we said that we'd go domain by domain. On the weekends, we had the classes in the beginning. We started on 19th, then Friday, Sunday, we had the classes. And once it was done, after submitting the application, we constantly kept Mr. Pradeep engaged through the daily follow-ups. What is the progress? Keeping them on track. How helpful or how mandatory is it to do the follow-ups?
I think it's very essential because we have a full-time job, as well as there are a lot of priorities in your weekend.
Hmm.
So somebody should always tell what is expected from this week. That helps to plan. And I would like to plan before. That's why I used to always ask what is expected out of
Hmm.
next week, what is expected this week,
Hmm.
so that everybody can plan their time. And it's a quite a bit of investment of time if you think overall, because weekly you spend almost 25-30 hours extra other than their full-time job, which
Hmm.
I feel is quite a bit of time.
So that the moment that we say that once you enroll with us, we make sure that you pass the exam, and we don't leave you unless you would really pass the exam, because we take it as our responsibility every day when we are asking and pushing that you have to do it. If not do, okay, we do like this. I think that is a main thing to keep the people on track, because in general if we don't do the follow up, maybe 2 3 days you are getting out of track, then you lose the target. If not finish in 2 months, maybe I will do in 6 months, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. And also there were some hiccups for the update in the syllabus, but
Mm.
we adjusted very fast. You were so much agile that you took initiative, and we finished on time. I am very happy. I wanted to, like I said before, I wanted to finish first quarter,
Mm.
and we were there.
Very good, very good. And Mr. Pradeep, what about the premium questions that we have steps developed?
Now, those are really nice questions, and lot of the concepts of all the chapters is covered inside those. So you should understand, rather memorizing. You should understand the concept, because questions are different. Every question is different, and scenario is different. So you need to choose an answer based on the scenario which is presented to you.
So I will, I mean, as Mr. Pradeep said that the fifth edition crux is now in the exam content outline. They have very beautifully more updated it to be getting in line with the context of the standard. And then further, the master sheet that we have developed is the crux of both the documents. and
Hmm.
our key point, that key whatever is the scenario, but surely in the question the keywords are there, right? So
Yes.
if you have carefully read the master sheets that we have developed, the last day material, then those keywords, what I get the feedback from all the students, that is very important, because whole scenario, if you are able to pick the keyword, then the answer becomes easy to identify at least.
Yes. Yes. That is true.
Hmm. Okay, now this will be a very interesting thing as we are moving forward with the new standard update, with the new things updated. We took a proactive approach and made sure all the things that are the most important thing has been updated, and that has been reflected in your exam also. And I'm very happy with that, Mr. Pradeep, how we are able to cope immediately. And Mr. Sami did immediately 2, 3 master classes for those people who have not watched them. Feel free to reach out and we'll make sure that we can give you the input into it. Mr. Pradeep, anything else you would like to share with the people who are planning to give exam in the upcoming days?
And also,
No.
Mr. Pradeep, in sorry, in the same message, please also tell about the master class that we had for 2 hours, in which we summarize everything, because you were watching it again and again. Like our other student Jay Prakash also watched that. So please also summarize it together with that.
Yeah, master class is kind of the crux of the whole book. So if you watch that 2 hour, you get the gist of whole fifth edition book content, and that is enough to understand whole concept in the PMI program management standard presented. So that is very good thing to watch and learn from it, as well as I just wanted to say, the way you guys are following up and doing all the assessment of each and every candidate, personal giving personal attention is a key to success. And I would just like to say two three learnings which could be improved just for the future. So first, initially when I took the class, 4 hour was lot of content, and it's a lot of information to digest, if somebody starting new. So I would suggest if you could break those into two or some smaller packets, that might help, because you don't want to scare whoever is joining in the first class itself, and sitting in a 4 hour is a lot of content to digest if somebody is new. That's one suggestion. And
Good.
then I would say that the mock can be improved a little bit, the simulation mock. So I have some resources, maybe I can share with you later, where you can make that very interactive and efficient, as well as your all the follow-ups are great. And only thing is, we need to come up with a way to summarize the eco in a story format you know
Hmm. In a story format to
yeah.
like to immerse people more so that they can memorize it.
Yes, so it's kind of a like, oh,
Hmm.
yeah, as a program manager, you joined. So what do you do? Strategic alignment. So you go to stay as sponsors,
Hmm.
talk to the sponsor. So you make as if you are walking like a Gemba walk. You are
Hmm.
walking the whole process with the program manager and run through the eco. Eco is kind of a step by process, which if you follow sequentially, it will make some story. And I think that will help to remember. That's just a small improvement you guys can think of. But otherwise, it was an amazing experience. And I really loved working with both of you. And I would recommend highly anyone to join your program.
Okay, okay, that is really great. Thank you very much, and I really loved working with you. It has been a great journey, Pradeep. I wish you best of luck for your future endeavors, and I always let each one teach one, as you are in the PGMP group, and my entire community works on this thing that you help other people. As they are in the group, help them. Mr. Sami is there, other PGMPs are there, but whenever anyone has any question, any confusion, feel free to jump in, give your input. Now you can give the answers with more power since you have a
Yeah.
satisfaction
Yeah.
backed by it, right? So I
Yeah.
would And the same thing I do for this certification, other people doing the entire push-ups for us, because each the way you will say it will be entirely different, entirely more way. So I look forward towards that, so you can do that. Thank you, Mr. Sami, for your time. Thank you,
Thank you,
Pradeep.
Mr. Pradeep. Congratulations
And
once again, and we stay up to date and in contact.
do share me your
Thank
picture. I'll make a thumbnail of it. Thank you very much.